So very good morning guys, we are heading out to the woods this morning, see if we can get a bit of photography with the mist that's outside, so we can get some cool images out there this morning. So let's go. Headed out now into the woods, well just about to, and as you can see the fog today is quite impressive. I'd say we're down probably to about less than 800 metres, so it's looking quite cool. So hopefully there's going to be a little bit of fog up in the trees here to try and get some awesome shots. So we're going to traipse our way up through the mud here. Got a tripod with me, so I'm going to try and keep the ISO as low as possible and then just see what results we get. So we'll get up there and hopefully we can make the most of this weather. So we just got up to the pine forest now, as you can see around me, but the fog just starting to dissipate a little bit. There's a little bit more of a breeze this morning, which obviously as the wind comes up it stirs it, so you lose a bit of the fog, which maybe is what's happening. So we're going to venture over to this side just to go through the woods, see if we can find a little composition to set up. Maybe the fog will come back, if not I'll head a little bit higher up the hill and we may be able to just get back into the base of it again. So I just set up this little composition. I've done one in portrait and one in landscape, just for practice really. This forest has a really lovely green moss which just really brings out the colour. So I've set this up at 5.6 and that's running at shutter speed of 1/10 of a second at the moment, and ISO 160 obviously on the tripod, and my focus point is where the dog is at the moment, so again just experimenting with that as well. On the camera I use the highlights that come up, so it always gives me a good idea of where the focus is in the shot. So when I do shoot these, they're all shot in RAW, and then I take it back and import it into Lightroom, and then it just gives a bit of scope to try and make it back to the image that you found at the beginning. You probably can't see this, but the clouds just starting to lift on the top now, so it looks like we might even get a little bit of sunlight through in a minute, which would be quite awesome. So I'm going to hang around a little bit longer and see what we got. So yeah, it could be an awesome morning. So this is another little composition I found just running down through the tree line there. So I set the camera up. And the sunlight just picking up the fog in the background down here, which is pretty cool. So again I've left it at 160 on the ISO because it's on a tripod. Left it at 5.6 and I'm also going to try one at f8, see how it comes out. Of course the issue here is it's quite dark in the foreground, but in the background it's really light. So what I've used on here is I've set it into the bracket mode, and using the button on the front you can change it. As I say, it should give me the exposure right the way through from in the middle, which is ideal, slightly lighter in the foreground, which I can pick out in Photoshop later, and then at the background it can lower it so that the highlights aren't, hopefully not too blown out. And the sun just pushing through there now, so that's picking up the fog really, really nicely. We've got some awesome sunlight coming through. You can see this through the trees now. The sun's just breaking through, so it's just picking up all the mist in the woods here. So we're going to head down through the woods here, see what else we can find, and I think that's pretty much it. It's getting a bit light now. A lot of the mist has already disappeared, but we do keep getting the occasional sunburst coming through, which is quite nice. So one of the things I always find when coming out shooting, there's always something that you think you've got the knack of and then you forget it. So it really always does pay when you do get out to your location, just to take your time, slow down, make sure you've got your settings right. If you rush it too much, there's always something you get back and you think, oh, and you wish you'd just take a minute longer just to compose that shot, and it makes all the difference. I still do it, I still probably will, but it's just something that I always keep in the back of my mind when I'm out filming or shooting. That is something I need to bear in mind and take a bit more time over it. So we're pretty much done this morning, so we're going to head back out through the woods and head back for a cup of tea. So thanks for watching, and I'll do another video very soon.